Hey! Yes, I know the title of this video does sound a little bit scary, but don't worry, it's just a video that I've been wanting to make for such a long time already. I think it's been 1.5 years, and I just kind of never got myself to do it. So here it is, finally, today. So when I decided I wanted to go on exchange to Japan, naturally I informed myself before I went. So I talked to all these people who had been on exchange before, and I read all these blogs, and I watched YouTube videos about people who went on exchange to different countries, not only Japan. And what all these people had in common was that they kind of told you that exchange was the best time of their lives, that it was just amazing and was just great. So I went to Japan with the expectation that this was gonna be the best time of my life, which I think, given that everyone else says it is, was a reasonable assumption, right? But it kind of turned out that it wasn't all that great as I expected it to be. And don't get me wrong here, I'm still really glad that I went there and it was an amazing experience. It just wasn't all that easy. And I think it's quite normal that if you go to a foreign country, and especially Japan, which is very foreign from Europe, there will be problems. So there will, for example, be misunderstandings just because of the culture or because you don't speak the language that well. You will get confronted with all kind of stereotypes or just cultural differences. So the principal wants to see you at 1:30. Just make sure that you're on time, okay? You know, it's the Japanese way of doing things, you know? Actually, we do that in Germany as well. And of course, also at times you will feel super lonely because you left your family and friends in your home country and you're going to this new country all by yourself. And while you might have a host family and you might have friends at school, sometimes it can just be pretty hard, especially with the language barrier. Why is no one talking to me? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something? Wait a second, are they talking about me? Oh my god, what have I done? Just someone talk to me, please! So yeah, when I was in Japan, I experienced all these difficulties and things were just not going very well at times. I was kind of wondering, like, people told me this was going to be the best time of my life. What am I doing wrong? Why isn't this great, and why isn't this all fun and everything? And I kind of started pressuring myself because of that, and I started feeling guilty for not having the best time of my life, which, looking back, is pretty stupid, because I think actually everyone who goes on exchange goes through these phases where things are just very difficult. After you come back, you just tend to see your experience in a more positive light. And I have two theories why people do that. The first one being that maybe they want to forget themselves about the bad things that happened to them and kind of justify why they went on exchange and why they spend that year or those 6 months abroad in a foreign country. And the other one simply being that if you return from exchange, you just kind of naturally forget about the bad things that happened, because those are not the things you talk about to people. If your friends ask you, how was it? You're not going to tell them difficult, you know? So after talking to like several people after return from exchange, and also you'll start missing your friends that you made back in the other country. Maybe you'll start seeing the positive things more than the negative things and eventually forget about those. But this whole talking about exchange as if it was just great and wonderful, I feel like that really sets wrong expectations for people who go on exchange or are planning to go. I know that I myself am very guilty of doing that as well. Like, if you look at my YouTube videos or at my Instagram account, I only share with you the good experiences that I had in Japan. I share with you all the events that I went to, and I show you how nice everyone at my school was, which, I mean, of course they were, but they weren't all the time. And I never talk about the difficulties that I faced in Japan as well. So I thought that's why it might be very important to make this video as well, where I tell you about how it actually was, and not like this filtered version that you usually see on social media. This video isn't meant to like scare you away from exchange or anything. I actually think it was a great experience, and I was able to grow a lot during that time. Also because of the difficulties that I faced. This video is more meant as like a preparation of how exchange is actually going to be. Because at the end of the day, exchange is not a vacation or a holiday that you spend with your family and friends. It's life, and life just has its ups and downs. So lastly, I just wanted to ask you, have you ever been on exchange? Regardless of the country, what were the problems you faced there and how did you solve these problems? Just let me know about your stories in the comments. And also, I will be at Japan Day Düsseldorf next month. So if you see me there, just come and say hi. I won't bite you. Or will I?